play in those things?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. There's only a few. Yeah, maybe we'll pull them down when we're getting ready for that. Yeah, that'd be quick. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. I'll be covering for Joe tonight, and I think just next week. Yeah, I think he's back the week after that. We'll confirm that. So yeah, tonight I'm gonna practice some meditation, incorporate the gong a little bit, and then at the end do a gong bath as usual. So looking forward to that. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Nice. Yeah. Hot one out today, huh? Yeah. All right, well, thanks for coming. Let's settle into our seat. Yep, good to see you online. I have to remember how to do the chat. So give rise to a sense of joy that we're able to be here together, practice. Also with the intention that we're not just practicing for ourselves, but for all beings. Now give rise to like a reflection that of thankfulness and appreciation that there is such a thing as meditation. There are teachings out there and we're able to access them. Also give rise to appreciation for our fellow meditators, for the folks here in the room, for the folks tuning in online, for the folks who are going to watch the recording later. Thanks for the support. As we say, meditation and letting be, being in the view, and something that seems to be communicable, which when a group of us gets together, it seems like we can pick up on the vibe, so to speak. It makes it stronger and easier to tap into sometimes. And it could also be helpful to have fellow practitioners, fellow meditators, Sangha members, because sometimes if life gets rocky and we get busy or things are going on, and for whatever reason we might not feel like practicing or we fall off of our routine, it can be helpful to have fellow practitioners around to talk about it, get back into it, stay into it. So, and as life happens, we might fall into different positions within all that. So, give rise to a sense of appreciation for our fellow practitioners. Now give rise to a sense of appreciation for teachers of the Dharma. There's the Buddha. Lots of examples that we usually talk about here on Tuesday nights. Lots of folks who have passed away many, many years ago, but there's stories about them or maybe books they wrote. And thanks to all of them, we have access to the teachings and the tradition continues. And it's very important and maybe sometimes obligatory or necessary to have teachers, but ultimately they help us to see that the teacher is inside too. The Buddha is inside. It's our nature. So let's reflect on that as well. All right, great. So for the folks joining us online, you can see there's a gong tonight, so we'll be incorporating that into the session. And towards the end of the session, there will be a period of just gong bath. So you may prepare for that as well. There will be a little bit of a break as the folks here, before we go into that section of the night, there will be a little bit of a break here, like for a minute or so, as folks get ready for the sound bath part. But we'll do some practice before that. Just wanted to give a heads up about that. Okay, so for tonight, I was thinking about something. Maybe we talked about it a little bit one of the last times I was covering for Joe. It's this practice called Tonglen, giving and receiving, and there's lots of different ways to do it, Different teachers teach different ways. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. If you do it a different way, that's cool. Just come on for the ride with us tonight. So I did have a teacher once say that it's important at first to just let be and do a little meditation to bring the mind to a settledness, like a spaciousness, and it can be helpful to do that while either a singing bowl or a gong is hit. So first we're going to just take some gentle breaths for a little while. And if it helps to take a deep inhalation and a nice sigh out to kind of settle in, you can do that as well. Okay, now I'm going to hit the gong, and as we do that, just have the intention to have a rested mind, like just completely open, and try to do that the whole time that the sound is occurring, like all the way until it fades out. Okay, here we go. And you could do this either with your eyes open or closed. Remember, rest and open spaciousness. Okay, so for this practice of giving and receiving, um, there's a few different stages of it. And at first, we want to, on our in-breath, we want to kind of breathe in, take in the qualities of like what it would feel like to be claustrophobic. Like, so if you can imagine that, and like being stuck in a dark, tiny closet, or something that I think of that really helps is like imagine like being in a straitjacket, like buried underground in a coffin or something like that. Yeah, that usually works for me. Like just that, yeah, that, that feeling, like imagine being trapped, like tight, and along with that, usually like the thought of like darkness and heaviness and even like hot coming in on the in-breath. So let's let's practice that. Also, while being like kind to yourself and easing into it. So with the in-breath, breathe in qualities of claustrophobia. Think of it as like dark, it can even be like a dark cloud, dark smoke coming into you. You could imagine that it's coming in through your breath into your body and spreading to wherever you feel it. I happen to be feeling it like in my arms because I said straitjacket. And along with this, there's also this quality of expansion. So that feeling is coming in and also like expanding. Okay, now the next part of this first part is on the out breath, the qualities of spaciousness, like lightness. You can think of white light, white smoke, white clouds coming out. And sometimes that spaciousness on the exhale, sometimes it's taught to go right out of your heart, and other times like through all of your pores. And the spaciousness, that qualities, it could be more kind of like cool feeling, like an optimal temperature. And now that I've explained both of them, we sync this with the breath. So the inhale is inhaling that claustrophobic qualities, and the exhale is the spaciousness. So let's practice that for a little bit at your own pace. And also, after the inhale and the expansion of that claustrophobic feeling, the exhale kind of transforms that and sends it out as white, clear light. And for me, when I do that, like the inhale, I feel that heaviness, heat in different parts of my body. And then on the exhale, the spaciousness kind of dissolves that and helps it flow out. How's everyone doing? Okay, good. So now the next step in this, it's kind of a progression, is to think about a person. Sometimes it's recommended like to think about a pet. Or like one's mother, although that can be complicated if there's complicated family dynamics. But I would say for this exercise, think about whether it's an animal or a person, someone that you'll have an easy time having like compassion for and sending love to. So here, maybe we'll take a few moments to think of your person or animal. And it's okay if they're like passed away, deceased, someone from a movie that you've never met. Okay, now, if everyone has that person in mind, think of something that's like causing them or caused them pain, suffering, some kind of dis-ease. It could be something like an illness, cancer, or it could be relationship problems, job issues, even if they have like a really bad food allergy. And now, with the intention that we're going to help relieve that, whatever that issue is, imagine that person and imagine whatever it is, say if it's like an illness, that it's on your inhale, you see it coming out of their body like black smoke into your body. with the purpose of relieving their suffering. And then kind of similar to the first step that we did, and then on your exhale, that comes out of you, it can come out of your heart, or it can come out of all your pores. And that suffering, whatever it is dissolved. That person no longer has it. So let's practice this again. On the inhale, you envision the other person's, whatever the issue is, it's coming out of them, you're bringing it in for the purpose of helping them. And on your exhale, it comes out as white light, white clouds, white smoke, and it's purified and dissolved. So let's practice that for a little bit. And you could do this with your eyes open or closed as well. And I don't think I mentioned this before, but ideally the length of our inhalation and exhalation are the same or about the same for this. And we could really go deep with this one, like on the first part of imagining that other person, you could really like imagine what it feels like to be in their shoes, going through what they're going through. And then on that release, on the exhale, you can really feel that letting go and being healed or resolved. And another, I think, really cool teaching related to this is if doing this type of exercise, like eventually we can do it with other types of people, like maybe people that for some it might be hard to have compassion and kindness toward. And one teaching I've heard is that if when doing this, any difficult feelings, emotions come up, like whether it's related to that person or like if it's just related to like what they're going through, like if you're thinking of a family member who has an illness, and that may bring up sadness or anger, you can do this exercise with the emotion. So like if it's anger, on the inhale, you can just breathe in anger, and on the exhale, dissolve it and let it out. And that's how we could work with these difficult thoughts and feelings. Okay, and then the next step in this version of Tonglen is basically to build upon the last exercise. So whatever was going on with the person that you chose as your object of meditation, let's expand it to all beings who are going through that same thing in the world now. So on the inhale, imagine that it's coming in from other beings as well. And on your exhale, it's letting that go, purifying it. I wanted to do this along to the sound of the gong for a little bit, so let's continue to do it. And especially like see if the vibration, the sound of the gong helps you really feel on the inhale any more deeply, more comprehensively, and the same for the exhale. So here we go. We'll do this for a little while. Inhalation, that's compassion. Coming in, compassion for others, expanding. And the exhale is sending that loving kindness out to all. How's everyone doing? Let's see. So yeah, I like this because it really, in my experience, it's been very helpful in certain situations. Having an exercise like this, it could really soften the situation and change it. It can help with having empathy um, for others as well, and it's my experience. It really works, and it's pretty neat too, because like I said, there's lots of different like versions of the exercise too and takes. So this is just one of them. Well, let's see. I think we could start to transition to our sound bath portion of the evening. So for the folks online, get comfy. You're welcome to stay seated however you are, or you can lay down, get a pillow, some blankets to get cozy, and we'll get started here in a minute or two as we get the room set up. So be right back.
These two of those.
Yeah, sure. It's a good height for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, everyone get Yeah, I think the other way, yeah. Let me know if I can give a hand too. Although occasionally people do go the other way for a little more stretch. Cool. Now for this, I want to invite y'all to continue the exercise and maybe based on your choosing of incorporating the sound of the gong, syncing with your breath, the inhalation, bringing in something to be resolved, and on the exhalation, dissolving that with clear light. And then as we're going with the sound, if you get to a point where you feel like clear, resolved, you could just let it be and rest in the spaciousness of your mind, support from the gong. Take a few deep breaths in. Nice big exhalation. For a few moments, let's just continue to rest in that spaciousness of mind. Also notice to see if your body feels any more spacious, any lighter than it did before. And just one more time, we'll do another round of the giving and receiving. Just whatever comes to your mind first, but we'll just do one inhale and one exhale, and then be done with it for this session on the exhale. So on your exhale, feel that whatever is being dissolved is completely fulfilled. So let's all do it now. Inhale. And exhale, white light. And then I think we could say the meditation, the dedication merit, and the folks in the room, you could just stay in the hammocks. You can do it together in the moment. And for the folks online, if you don't know the dedication merit prayer, just think, may all the goodness, may any benefit that's come from this practice be sent out and shared with all beings. So I'll just let be for a moment, and we'll say the prayer together. Okay. By this merit, may all attain omniscience, having defeated the enemy, wrongdoing, from the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death. From the ocean of samsara, may I free all beings. All right, thanks to the folks who joined us online. Hope everyone had a great session and that you have a great night.